Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 16th COT report in 2015, and as usual we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. So here we go. As you can see, we've got silver on top of our list with a 19% change in commercials positions. You can see the change size over here. Similarly to commercials, we've got 19% change in large speculators positions. You may see these changes are larger than average. We do have some greater changes in the past, but anyhow, this is a significant COT change signal, a bullish one that we can talk about. But let's move on and have a look at the extreme situation that is currently in silver. Right now, we do not have a large extreme. The last major extreme was actually a bearish one, as you can see over here where I'm showing you right now. And as you can see, prices declined since then. To really reach a bullish extreme, I would say we'd need to reach, in case of commercials, well, about roughly 15,000 contracts net short level. That would mean that if you look at the chart, that would be a very good bullish COT extreme signal. We're a bit far away from that level, but getting closer and closer to it. Right now, it's really the change signal that may affect prices. Let's move on and have a look at feeder cattle, where we have a 18% change in commercials positions. It's not as clear as you may see on this chart, but it is a significant change size anyhow. That can be seen. Of course, bearish change signal. Moving on to the 5 years chart, just to have a much nicer view on our COT charts, you may see that we are moving away from a relative bullish extreme. And as we do so, you can see prices are actually going higher and higher. Bearish extremes are a bit further away, so I would say that the last major COT extreme signal, currently a relative bullish extreme, is acting in the market. So let's jump forward to the Dow Jones and see whether we have a more obvious situation over there. We have an 18% change COT change signal in commercials, and about the same change size in large speculators. Not that big of a change. If you look at the chart, we do see much greater changes pretty often in the Dow. So I'd rather move on and have a look at the 5 years chart and see whether we have an extreme. But unfortunately, following the previous two markets, we cannot talk about a significant extreme at the moment. I'd rather move on and have a look at large speculator COT extreme. And there you go. We have all-time COT extreme. So those are markets definitely to talk about. Starting with rough rice, we have all-time COT extreme both in commercials and large speculators. Of course, in case of rough rice, in the past few months, we have had such extremes, and as you can see, without any real effect on the market. So be aware of this and very cautious before getting into a trade. As you can see, we have had this significant extreme for quite some time, and prices just could not bottom out, and they're still in a decline mode. But anyhow, the extreme is getting wider and wider. Stress levels are building up to levels that we haven't seen in the past. So I would say we should be looking at the rough rice market in the upcoming few weeks or even month. Wheat is our next market. All-time COT extremes over there in large speculators and commercials also. Here the signal is more obvious, more clear, and we do see better examples in the past when price reacted to the COT extreme signal. So here I would say that the COT extreme signal is more valuable. And even though we have had significant extremes without any major reaction from price, just a short rebound in this decline, please keep your eyes on the wheat market, because there's definitely trading that could be done in the wheat right now. Even though it's the Kansas City wheat, of course you should have your eyes and look at the Chicago wheat as well. Japanese yen is our next market. We have a 130 report extreme over there in large speculators positions. 5 years chart. Here we go. You may see what that 130 report extreme means. It basically means that roughly 2.5 years ago we had such an extreme. But before that we had even greater extremes. Anyhow, this is a significant bearish COT extreme signal. In relative terms, of course. On the wider perspective, well, I think we can argue about that. We could even say that it is still more of a bullish extreme. Well, it's hard to tell. And as you can see, there wasn't any real reaction from price. Prices just headed downwards, even if we had such significant all-time COT extreme bullish signals in the market. So we are getting closer to bearish levels, but with prices at such lows, I wouldn't say that it's an easy homework for you guys to evaluate. That is going to be all for this review. Of course, you can have a look at other COT charts at our COT charts page, or do your historical analysis. Look at older reports in the COT analysis tab. Of course, other great functions are also available. The long-term trend, volume and open interest scores. And of course, you can look at the COT index as well. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope I'll see you next week. Have a great Sunday, and see you next week then. Take care. Bye-bye.